All right, good morning, JBLM. Wow, that was good. Welcome to our February Garrison update. Just a couple administrative remarks before we get started. As always, we like to thank the Red Cross for supplying us with coffee. Very much appreciated. I want to give a big shout out to our resource tables that we have over here. If you didn't have a chance when you came in to visit those, please do so before you go. There's a lot of information over there. And a big shout out to our Armed Forces Community Service folks, Janaea and Tony. They have a lot of information over there, so please take the time to get the information. A lot of the stuff that you will see here today in the slides, if it's not on your tables, they will have over at the information table. And then the final thing is we want your feedback. On your table is a sheet that is gray and blue and green. Please fill that out with your comments, your feedback. Leave it on the table. We will collect it at the end. And with that, I will turn it over to Colonel Percival.
Hey, good morning. How are you all doing? Major General Millhorn. It's Colonel Snelson, command teams. Here's our agenda. There are many like it, but this one is ours. We're going to start out with a quick recognition, then we're going to roll through all the things we normally talk about during the update, and then we'll close it out from there. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so this month we get to recognize an airman for a superior performer. So at this time, I'm going to ask Sergeant Blickenstaff to come forward. All right, so Sergeant Blickenstaff is the NCOIC of the Combat Arms for the 627th Security Forces Squadron. He leads a team of 10 airmen and 2 civilians in supporting the air wing and all the different cats and dogs. His section leads live fire trainings for 12 separate weapon systems and training 4,000 personnel. He maintains more than 3,000 assigned weapons worth more than $2 million, ensuring combat proficiency for overseas contingency operations, 24/7 defense of 2,000 airlift missions around the world. He oversees the installation's weapon qualifications mandate with the Roadmap to Readiness initiative. And so in this month alone, he has trained over 580 personnel and expended more than 115,000 rounds of ammunition. More than 3,000 qualified they will have trained over 3,000 by the end of the year. Increasing the qualifications by more than 67%. So because of that, he is our Superior Airman of the Month for the Joint Base. Thank you. Appreciate you.
On behalf of Colonel Lucas, thank you. And General Vleski, the floor is yours for opening comments.
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? Hey, thanks for coming today. It's great to see y'all. Hey, just a few things. Last night we had our headquarters and headquarters battalion did their first family readiness group meeting in over 4 years. And so as we start working through that at the corps level, I'd ask all of our units to really go through your family readiness group programs and make sure they're where you want them to be. It was a great event that we had all the senior leadership there, their wives, and really talked about kind of how to make sure that we're all ready for whatever our nation may ask us to do. So just on behalf of the First Corps, I just ask you to make sure that your individual units are as ready as we need to be. Secondly, I was out doing PT this morning, and as I was coming back in from PT, I ran in front of the headquarters and I saw this great young soldier walking by. And of course, I just can't stop but talk to great U.S. Army soldiers. And great airmen too when I see them. Unfortunately, I don't get to see many airmen in front of my headquarters. But why I stopped him is because I thought, well, man, that kid just doesn't look motivated. So let me see who he is. And so some would say I have this knack to just find the guy that folks don't want me to find. So I said, hey, how are you? And he's like, I'm doing great, sir. I'm like, you don't look motivated. Are you sure you're okay? He goes, yeah, I just got here from Afghanistan. I was like, wow, God bless you. How was your tour? He's like, great. Did 9 months in Afghanistan. I'm a signaleer. I just love doing what I'm doing. So now I'm pretty motivated. So I said, well, how long have you been at JBLM? He said 3 days. I was like, great, who's your sponsor? Doesn't have a sponsor. So, that's the question I ask every soldier I see coming on the installation is, who is your sponsor? So I said, have you talked to your unit? Yep, I've talked to my unit. So when are you getting your sponsor? I don't know. I said, I bet you'll get your sponsor today. I just have that feeling. So, I would just say we can't forget that, we've got soldiers and airmen coming on JBLM every single day. And, a kid coming from Afghanistan probably doesn't have that big support structure that he did or she did coming from a Army installation to come on here. So I would just ask us to make sure we're really committed to making sure we're receiving all of our new personnel the way we would want to receive them. And sponsorship, as you know, is one of the biggest things we do. Because if I get them with sponsors, I can get them to all these great organizations that help soldiers and airmen every day at JBLM, and we can start to get them put on the right path on finances and all the rest of that. So I just ask you, help me, help them. And so when you got new students or new soldiers coming in or new airmen, please give them the attention and the sponsorship they deserve. Does that make sense? All right, thanks for all you're doing. Hoa.
Colonel Nelson.
Thanks, Percy, and welcome everybody over here to the McChord Field side of the installation. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here at the club. Wednesdays are usually a little difficult. This is usually spa day for our airmen. I don't know what day you guys do that for your soldiers, but usually have the sweetest massage over there and acupuncture over. Anyway, so again, welcome folks. Since the last time we met, kind of went through, looked at our data. Our airmen, we've got about 500 airmen from Team McChord deployed right now. We've flown roughly 2,700 hours, and as of yesterday, we were on 6 out of 7 continents, including Antarctica. So we missed South America by a day. The other huge thing that we've been doing is our mobility exercises. So last week, we had a group of our airmen donned out in MOP4 full chem gear, doing every single thing that airmen do, from security forces to our logisticians, to our maintainers, to our aviators, getting ready for the fight tonight. Myself, I got to fly last week on a little local training mission, but it wasn't a regular standard local. So we flew a group from the 17th Fires Brigade, and we uploaded a couple of HIMARS and a Humvee, and so I went down there at some point during the loading, and I talked with these soldiers, and after we got through the initial just flurry of questions from all these soldiers about how they can come over and join the Air Force, which is a standard conversation with every soldier, it's fine. I was talking with these young soldiers, and I said, tell me about this. It looks like a really big, dangerous thing. What can you do? And that soldier, with tremendous pride, explained to me how they can land anywhere in the world, download, set up, launch a whole world of pain on any adversary, and button up and get back on the airplane in under an hour. I was pretty impressed, but I didn't know if it was just a little bit of kind of being braggadocious. And then I watched, as we flew over to Moses Lake over in Grant County, I watched these soldiers and our young airmen work together as a joint team. They downloaded that thing, set it up, did a simulated launch in under an hour, about 45 minutes. It was incredible. And it was such a great reminder to me of what we can do here and what we do accomplish here as a joint team. There is no other base in the Air Force, and I don't think there's another base in the Army that's quite like this, where you have those joint training opportunities day in and day out. And what we get from that is not just this sense of teamwork, this sense of pride, although we do get that. The other part that we get is the understanding and the knowledge that whenever our nation calls us, no matter where it is, when it is, we will be ready. And there's no other base that can do that. So that was my personal experience last week. Made me really proud to be here, to be a part of this incredible joint team, and that we couldn't do it without all the folks here in the room. So thank you very much. I'll hand it back over. Can't wait to hear about Buck's personal shred days.
Your dream just came true, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Buck James. I'm the director of DPTMS to give you your key highlights. Remember, the majority of these are going to be briefed by the Ministry of Fun here in a minute. I do want to call out a couple of things to your attention. AER kickoff at the end of this month, and of course the Military Saves Week. A lot of community involvement in those. Personal shreds on the 2nd of March and the 6th of April. Again, you can't shred your kids, so stop trying. I do want to put a plug in for the spring flea market. There are people in this room who are absolutely relying on you to be able to buy the stuff that they bought from somebody when they got here. So there's a chest of drawers, there's a kid's bed set. It just needs to rotate 2 or 3 houses to the left, and then you're good to go. So again, spring flea market's a big one. And then finally, the Commander's Cup 10-miler. I do want to caution all of you. I mean, training is in my wheelhouse. So just remember, you know, you train as you fight. So if you run in training, you'll run in combat. So be careful with that. And then as a leader, you should never run because it'll spook the men. Other than that, sir, always a pleasure to be here. Oh.
Good morning, everybody. Alicia Grady, Director of Personnel and Family Readiness. We have a lot of things coming up in the next few months that I'm going to highlight. Again, if you need more information, we have everything over at the table. So as Buck mentioned, our AER campaign kickoff will be on February 23rd at 9 o'clock at Cary Theater. We want to have a packed house. I believe there are close to 900 seats in that theater, so we're hoping to fill every single one of them. This is a great opportunity for you and your soldiers in this case to learn about AER. I will tell you at Joint Base Lewis McChord, we typically give out close to $3 million in Army emergency relief every year. So it's very important that we give back to that during the campaign so that we can soldiers can continue to help soldiers. Next up, Military Saves Week. We have a lot of events going on during this week. It's a week dedicated specifically to financial readiness and supporting things that will help you save, help you make better decisions financially. We have a lot of activities that are going on that week, so we hope that we get maximum participation. We do events on both, across the entire garrison, so there's opportunities everywhere for you and your folks to participate in these activities. And then our Mission Resource Expos. These are pre-deployment briefings and resources for all units, Army, Air Force, it doesn't matter. Everyone is welcome to attend. There are required briefings that have to occur. We provide those briefings, and then we also have resources. This is open for airmen, for soldiers, and family members. So please, you see the dates there. We have 3 a week, 3 times a day. So please register and sign up to participate in these. It's good information. And then finally, our Volunteer Appreciation Week is in April every year, so we're now collecting our nominees for our Volunteers of the Year. We have several categories. We have Adult Volunteer of the Year, Active Duty, Community, Family, and then Retiree. We are taking nominations for all categories right now, and we will have our annual Volunteer Recognition event in May. So please get recognize your volunteers. We have a lot of folks out there who do tremendous work in a volunteer capacity, and we want to make sure that they get recognized. And with that,
this year we're doing an Army and an Air Force Volunteer of the Year, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be different than what we've done in the past. So I just want to make sure that the Army and Navy, well, maybe they'll bring them in too, make it a true joint base. The Army and Air Force both know that we want to recognize both services, so I'd ask your support for that.
Hey, good morning, everyone. For those that haven't met, Colonel Mike Place, Commander of Madigan. Sir, so I just let you know, we're working hard on Windows 10, so for your signaleer there, if I sponsor him, can I have him? I'm hoping the answer is yes. I'll come by this afternoon. Next slide, please. So this month is Heart Health Month. One of the things I'd ask you to do as I drove in, I paid attention to, all of us park right next to the door. A few extra steps makes a difference. Get your steps in, protect your heart. Next slide, please. Then I want to say thank you. This is Patient Appreciation Month, and we do appreciate you. Our civilian staff and all the other folks at Madigan, we've been working hard to improve patient satisfaction, both inpatient and outpatient, and one of the big focuses I have for our crew is to thank you for choosing Madigan as a place to get your health care. So to all of you, and if you would pass the word, thank you. We're proud to serve you. Next one. One of the issues that we've been dealing with is pharmacy. with MHS Genesis. It has slowed us down considerably in our pharmacy, so we thought it important that we share kind of the distinction between a refill and a renewal with you. So a refill, if I wrote you a prescription, let's say Motrin or something like that, has 3 refills on the bottle, then you don't need to do anything other than request it from the pharmacy and they'll have it available for you. That's a refill. A renewal is it when you run out of refills and you need a new round. Okay, so this is a resupply. So that has to be ordered by your provider, because theoretically for some of those medications, we want to make sure that it's appropriate to keep you on them and so forth. And some of them, they expire over time. You can only have 6 months worth of supply, that kind of thing. So there is a distinction between the two. Go ahead, next slide, please. In order to get a refill, again, all you have to do is call us. Over at the pharmacy, they'll get it lined up, and you come in and pick it up. Next slide, please. Then for a renewal, it's a little different. You have to get a hold of your provider. You have to leave them a message, and there's a couple different ways you can do that. We're trying to get folks to use the patient portal with MHS Genesis in order to make that request. Next slide, please. We still have some folks having some challenges with MHS Genesis patient portal. We talked about it again this morning, actually, with our contract folks as well as the DHA. To try and make some progress in making that easier to navigate and having all of our providers appear, that sort of thing. So the best answer I have for you is to call the Defense Manpower Data Center, DMDC, and that's the number to reach them out. Next one, please. And finally, for those of you who didn't notice, your TRICARE benefit has changed this year as of 1 January. You are no longer limited in terms of the number of urgent care visits that you can have if you're not active duty. Active duty folks, you still need to come see us. So there may be additional charges and fees and so forth if you're active duty. So we would encourage you to always come see us for active duty personnel. For family members, however, it's unlimited urgent care visits. The idea behind this is that we'd rather have you go to an urgent care visit if you have a question and get care than either, number one, not getting care, or number two, going to an emergency room for a non-emergency room visit. Because frankly, you can go to the urgent care visit pretty much as often as you want to, and it will be cheaper than you go into an emergency room. It is that kind of cost differential that's in there. So this was a change in the benefit this year. So for those of you who want to go to get urgent care, then please do so. I would ask you, however, to try and get an appointment with us. There's some significant benefits to having us know what's going on, your primary care manager knowing what's going on with you, and oftentimes we can take care of it in a much more timely fashion and not have to have the transfer of records and all the other things going on. So want to make sure you know what your benefits are. If you have questions about that, we have benefit advisors who can actually walk you through the details for each of these. If FRGs want to have something like that, just let us know. We'll be happy to support that for you. Questions for me?
Yeah, Mike, did DHA send people down to help us with MHS Genesis, and how long will they be here?
Yes, sir. So we have a team of 3 folks, one from each of the services that's here as part of the ongoing team. And then the Cerner folks sent, gosh, right now I think we have about 28 folks that are in-house that are doing modifications to the system in order to make it possible. And then we have another team of about 20 folks that are doing additional training for all of our different personnel across the organization.
So how long do we think that's going to last?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. They'll be here for about 8 weeks total. They've been here for almost 2 now. And the idea here is to reset us on the agreed upon changes that we know need to be made in the system. There's about, well, depending on who you ask, there's somewhere between 1,200 and 14 fixes that we've all agreed need to be fixed. And so they are working through that. They are through, as of yesterday, close of business, 71 of those 1,200 to 1,400. So we have a lot of work yet to do. And then we have about 250 that are significant issues that are going to require probably a week or 2 worth of analysis to solve them. So those are some of the bigger issues. The patient portal actually is one of the latter ones.
If you give me an update in 6 weeks, so I can call at the 6-week mark, so I can call the Surgeon General in case we need to extend them here.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Will do. Other questions, anyone? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. I'm Chuck Markham, Director of Public Works. This morning, I just want to take a few minutes to discuss an upcoming repair project we have going on in Lewis, Maine that will impact the community. We're looking at improving the parking lots around Waller Hall, but then also across the street at McVeigh Gym. Over the years, these have been piecemealed in, and we have to do some improvements that when it's over will be a great improvements. But we're going to look at improving the paved surfaces, vehicle and pedestrian movements in the area, improve the lighting. We need to get into stormwater compliance, so we'll be working that. We'll also be working potable water that supplies these facilities, the lines there to improve that. And then we're also working some sewer. And then one of the project also in front of 2027 is going to also improve the handicap parking areas there too. Fencing for the phase 1, as you can see here in the red, fencing will start on the 16th of February. And actual demolition work will start 22 February. As you can see, this phase 1 goes till June of this year. Then we'll move to the phase 2s of these areas. During phase 1, 10th Street, which runs right here, will be closed. So that will open up in June. However, access to all the facilities in the area will be maintained. Phase 2 starts in June. These two areas, and again, as it shows here, works through October. Questions? So we'll have some impact. We'll do the best we can. We're working with the support organizations in the area, and then if you have thoughts or comments or observations, please let us know. It will have impact to the community. Okay? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kathy with Department of Public Works Sustainability, and I'm here to talk to you this morning about revamping your commute in 2018. Our award-winning Go Lewis McChord program provides free transit shuttle all across base with a stop on the outside gates at DuPont. We also have van pools. We have over 50 van pools running to a variety of counties if you're living off base, and we encourage van pool riding. It simplifies. You can shoot your phone at that van pool interest form, or I've left a flyer for you on your tables. We do have bike share, so again, we're setting up satellite bike fleets. You can find 2 on McChord and 4, maybe 5 at the moment on the Lewis side. Next slide, please. We're talking about water right now, stormwater runoff, because it's raining like crazy. So we want you to be aware that all of the stuff that's on the ground gets carried into our stormwater, and make sure that you are letting your staff and anybody you're working with know that not to change your oil in the barracks parking lots, use the MWR autocraft shops. I put a flyer out there. It's called the Don't Drip and Drive campaign. It's $50 off. So if you can, encourage people to use that service. It's connected to King County and Pierce County program. Talking about picking up after your pet. And just one more thing, as you guys are getting ready to go out to training exercises and stuff, this is for your rear deployment. Make sure they're trained up and that they know what they need to do maintenance while you're gone, if they're going to continue to do maintenance, or else let us know and we'll shut down the satellite accumulation areas so you don't fall out of environmental compliance. All right, any questions? I'll be at the table back here. Feel free to stop by. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ron Hernandez. I'm representing the Housing Division. So today I've got one slide informational, and it's regarding where the BH goes for our joint base privatized housing here at JBLM. Every joint base is a little bit different as far as their privatized housing is a little bit different at every base. So have you ever wondered where that BH goes? What is it used for? So as you can tell, you can see, look at the slide, it goes for rent, right? Okay, we got that. Okay, you'd expect utilities, okay? So as you can see on the slide, it covers a few other things, like landscaping. So, you kind of expect a little bit of landscaping, but they do some extra landscaping here at JBLM. Capital improvements. I think the one that's the most popular is the fences. They're trying to put fences around the houses in neighborhood by neighborhood. It includes roads and stuff like that. One of the things that surprised me, because this was actually a learning exercise for me, was fire and police. So it's my understanding every time they have to respond in the housing area, the privatized partner has to pay the government. 5 community centers are available. Not every privatized installation housing has that many, maybe. And then obviously their effort to sponsor large events. So with that said, as I was thinking to myself, okay, so that's really nice to know information. How does it really apply to me and my soldiers and my airmen? And I thought about over the last 2 years, we've seen a lot of young soldiers and airmen, especially soldiers, come in and to go over their leases. And a lot of times we've seen soldiers and airmen get into leases that are equal to their BAW rate. And so what I would encourage you to pass on to your supervisors is, as your coach, teach, mentoring those young soldiers and airmen, is for them to look for a rent that is at 85% of their BAW. If they do that, that will hopefully minimize their out-of-pocket expenses. Because it's really easy to just look for that one rent that's right at the BAW rate, and the next thing you know, they're in financial difficulties. That's all I have for today. Does anybody have any questions? I do, actually. Okay.
On your utilities, you have up here that it covers utilities, but it actually doesn't. The facilities is done at an average now of the type of house you're in. So there's people that I've seen recently getting bills of like $230, and it's continuous. So are you, sorry.
It's okay, I can hear.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are you actually, when they come to lease a home, is that actually being explained to the young airmen and soldiers that they are going to have out-of-pocket expenses if they do go over the average of their units?
I believe so, but I'm going to check.
Okay.
That's a great point. Any other questions? Thank you.
Good morning. Kelly Wetzel with MWR. Just a quick rundown of what we've got coming up in the next few months. Texas Hold'em is ongoing at the Warrior Zone, so if you like to play poker, it's a good way for you to win a little cash at the end of the 10-week cycle there. We have an extreme night out. It's kind of a pre-Valentine's Day present to yourself. You drop the kids off, and then you go and have a night out. And the kids have a good time at Extreme Night Out, and then you come back, of course, and pick them up and take them home. We have the Northwest Adventure Center and Adventures Unlimited. If you want to go skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, inner tubing, any of that, we've got all of our rental equipment ready for you to come and grab it. The Adventures Unlimited over here has got a lot of new snowboards and skis for you to pick up, even cross-country gear if you're into that. So get out, take advantage of the skiing and snow season that we've got right now. If we're lucky, it'll last for a while. If we're not, it'll be over in a few weeks. So take advantage of what they've got out there in the mountains right now. And then finally, a couple of bowling options. At Sounders Lanes on the McChord side, we have a lunch and bowl option. So if you're over here, you grab lunch, you take your receipt and take it to the front desk, and you get a free game of bowling. And then every Saturday night at Sounders Lanes, they have Cosmic Bowling, which is blacklight bowling. And so that's for 2 hours. It's $12 a person, and that includes everything that you need to go and have a good time over on a Saturday night. Next slide, please. So the rundown for March, we've got the Sham Rock and Run coming up on March 10th, and you can register for that online right now. And then the Easter Dash, like I mentioned last time, they've moved the date. It was normally on Easter Sunday, and so they've moved it the day prior now so that you don't have to make that choice about whether, you know, we got to get the kids dressed up and got to get out there to Easter Dash, and then we've got to get to church, and then we've got to get to brunch. So Easter Dash is the Saturday before Easter now. And then in April, Easter brunch is on April 1st. That is not a joke. It is on April 1st this year. So, and it's at the McChord Club. Here they do a fantastic job for Easter, also for Mother's Day. So if you're looking for a good brunch option, this is a fantastic place to come. Kids Fest, which is always during the Clover Park School District spring break, is an opportunity for you to bring your kids out. They have a fantastic time in the MWR Fest tent. There's entertainment, there's games, there's activities, all the helping agencies are there, but it's specifically for children. And then, as Buck mentioned, the spring flea market is coming up. And then at the bottom here, I wanted to talk real quickly about club membership. Dorda has a table over, it's the one with the beige tablecloth on it. It's not just club membership. It's not just Air Force Club membership. It is MWR membership. And with that, dues start at $3 a month. But that gets you a free bucket of balls at either golf course every time you show your card. So if you're a golfer, that's worth a lot of money. It's also $1 off your meals. It's $1 off of a meal here. You get a free membership meal every month here in the club. You get $1 off when you eat at the bowling centers. You get a $1 shoe rental at either of the bowling centers on base. The dollar savings adds up, and I would guarantee you if you show that club card, and there's even a virtual club card, you can show your smartphone so you don't need to carry an extra card in your wallet. You show that card and you get some pretty good benefits being a member of the club. So Dorda's got information over there if you want to pick up all the 18 different benefits that you get being a club member. And does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sergeant Williams. I'm the president of the JBLM Boss program. I just wanted to share with you all some of the events that we have available for the single service members. So yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, so on February 11th, this Sunday, we're going to be taking a group of service members to Seattle's Chinatown International District. I honestly didn't know there was a Chinatown in Seattle, but now I know. So we're going to be taking them up there for the Lunar New Year. It's basically a cultural event, so this is a good time for them to go experience some other cultures that they've never experienced before in Asia, and see all the different festivals they have, celebrations, taste some Asian food. So this is a really good event for everyone to go out and experience. We also have snow tubing at the end of the month. Basically, both of these events are completely filled, but it's still good to push out the word and let them know of the events that we have going on so they can, show interest in the BOSS program. Snow tubing is basically this event where you get in the tube and you go down the snow hill. It's really fun and exhilarating. I did it last year, and it could be a real rush. So these are the events that we have going on in February for BOSS. And just to remind you all, we also have the designated driver van that is running every weekend. And Ryan, he is our treasurer for BOSS, and he's in charge of keeping track of VMIS, the volunteer hours that all the service members get while participating in these volunteer events. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Sergeant Major. What do you have going on this afternoon? We have the BOSSA meeting this afternoon, so the brigade and battalion reps will be there, and squadron reps as well. They'll be here in the hearing room if you're interested in just stopping by to see how it runs down. Thank you.
Good morning, JBLM. What a beautiful morning. All right, my name is Chaplain Young Kim. I'm the Garrison Ops and Plans Chaplain. On behalf of Chaplain Garfield, Garrison Chaplain, and the First Corps Command Chaplain, Chaplain Hutchinson, sincerely thank you for your great support last Friday's event, National Prayer Breakfast. Who? All right, our chaplain's office will provide faith and family night, family university night. Every Wednesday evening, 5 to 8 p.m., we have classes. For the kids, we have Awana Club at Lewis Main Chapel and McChord Chapel. We provide a free meal and also the watch care, all right? And key events. Before that, I brought the two handouts. Number one is a Catholic Lenten schedules. It's pretty long, front and back side long, okay? Yeah, please use this one for the Catholic services and the masses during the Lenten season. And the other one is the Lenten schedules, okay? Ash Wednesday service. Next Wednesday, Catholic side, we have at noon and 1800 hours, McChord Chapel number 2. And at 12 o'clock, Lewis North Chapel, 1800 hours, that is the Lewis Main Chapel, Ash Wednesday Mass. And the Protestant, we have 11 o'clock service at the Soldiers Chapel. Next slide, please. This is a JBLM combined. It's a combined Protestant Easter sunrise service, 6 o'clock at the Watkins Parade Field. So please come and support us, and we're going to have a breakfast after the service. And we have one more slide, right? No? Okay, we have the Good Friday service, 30th of March, 7 p.m. at Lewis Main Chapel. Okay? And the 29th of March, 1800 hours, Christian Cedar meal at American Lake Conference Center. All right, do you have any question? If not, God bless. Thanks, sir.
Good morning, Mike Cruz from McChord Commissary. As you probably know, Lewis Main Commissary has new hours. They were just added a few hours to their schedule. It was passed out on everybody's table. Next slide. The Commissary Scholarship Program ends next week on February 16th. Depending on the government shutdown, it might get extended, or we'll let news go out about that. But we have at the Commissary right now for McChord, we have about 5 or 6 applications. So if you have students that's going to college, it's a good program, it's $2,000 per student if they win the scholarship program. I encourage it. I don't know how many Fort Lewis has right now, but I know McChord has about 5 or 6 applications. Next slide. March Madness, the same as every holiday. If you have anything going on for March Madness, the Deli Department, Produce Department, Meat Department, they do special orders. Just give them a call a day ahead. They'll try to get the special order in. As you probably know, McChord's seafood contract was diminished. So right now, the commissary is trying to look for another seafood contractor to come in. It might take a while. Next slide. That next holiday, February 19th, both stores' hours are 09 to 1700. Next slide. Is that it? What's this? As you know, there was numerous requests for extended no-bagger lanes at both commissaries. This is in test phase, so if you want to do your own bags like they do out in town, McChord Field registers 2, 3, and 4. You probably hear me yelling it during Super Bowl weekend, but you can do your own bagging. At Lewis Main, you can do 17, 18, 19 registers. It's the same service. There's a cashier there, but there's no bagger, and you just can do your own bagging. And one other note. In the event of government shutdown, same as before, both commissaries will stay open to the 13th. And then we'll just go day by day and play by ear. But the 13th, if there is government shutdown, we will be open for business from the 9th, or from the 8th to the 13th as regular. At the end of the 13th, then we'll be shut down until further notice. Any questions? Thank you.
Good morning, it's Pat from the Exchange for the Exchange Update. As you can see, for both McChord and Lewis, we have several events going on this month, kicking off Black History Month. Today at your Lewis Exchange, they've got cupcakes from 11 to 1. At your McChord Exchange tomorrow, we'll be doing a cake cutting. Holiday hours for both exchanges are listed below. Auntie Anne's is doing some specials throughout the month. Dollar pretzels on Tuesdays, dollar pretzel dog on Thursdays. And your Lewis Theater has a first run for Black Panther. Next slide. And this is a new website that the Exchange has got now for business delivery websites, where the government agencies can go on and use this to purchase items with, and if you use your government card, it's a 10% off purchases. So at the bottom, it shows the website that you can go on and register to do your online purchasing. The other thing I have is, if anyone remembers Good Times, we have Bernadette Stannis over at the McChord Exchange. She's doing a book signing. She'll be there all this week till Sunday from 10 to 6. So if you remember Good Times, please stop over and meet her. Any questions? Thank you.
Good morning. I'm here with the Lewis Community Spouses Club, and last month I talked to y'all about how our membership fees have gone down, and we're trying to get everybody out of this rain and have some fun. One of the most fun things we do that impacts our community tremendously is ACE Night. It's coming up next month, but what's important right now and what we're asking for help from everyone here is to talk to their unit and see if you can help us at all by donating a basket, any items, anything you can give us. And what we do with those is we have a silent auction, we also have a live auction, I believe, and all that money that's raised goes back to the community, and it goes back to this community. It impacts us directly through grants and scholarships. I believe last year they gave away around $40,000, so this is huge, but we can't do it without y'all. So we have 3 drop-off times. The dates are here, the 23rd and then the 2nd and 9th of next month. Our organizer is Julia Bowers. She's an Air Force spouse, and she's been amazing. This is going to be a really fun night. If you are with a unit and you want to donate a basket, she's just asking if she can just get the theme. We don't need the basket, we don't need anything else, but the theme by next Thursday, that would be awesome. Tickets are on sale now. This is not just a member event, this is an everyone event. This is girls' night, this is date night, this is just get out of the house night. The tickets are live. You can go to our website and it will direct you there. And then if you have any questions, Julia's email is on the slide. Thank you. Thank you. Annual charity event.
Good morning. My name is Shelley, and I'm from Santa's Castle. And I wanted to let y'all know we were wrapping up the final details from our past season. The number of families we served this year were 925, which came to 2,131 children received gifts from Santa's Castle. And I just got a text from my inventory coordinator who's in this room who told me that this is the outdated number for the amount of toys, dollar amount, that it was actually $209,000, a little bit over. So our elves worked very, very hard this year. But we really want to thank everybody for helping us. We can't do what we do without your all support and helping us get the information pushed out. I know that Santa's Castle is not one of those organizations that you find at every post. So being able to share for our new folks, we really, really appreciate that. This year, our board, we are losing our fabulous inventory coordinator, and we are also looking for a donations coordinator to help us with fundraising. We did fill our parliamentarian, so we've got that one covered. However, we will also be putting together an inventory team once we get our coordinator together. Next slide. We've already set our dates for 2018. Our open house will be in September 25th, the day after our referral period opens. So I will be back in August with invitations for open house, and I'll start the push again for asking for the information to be put out about referrals. And our toy distribution days are November and December, like they were this year. Does anybody have any questions? All righty.
Doing an amazing job.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Mike Brown. I'm here substituting for Lisa Hallett, who is the executive director of an organization called Wear Blue, Run to Remember. Show of hands, does everybody know what Wear Blue, Run to Remember does? Okay, I see. Just a brief statement on it. Wear Blue, Run to Remember is a running community whose purpose is to honor, remember, and recognize the service and sacrifice of the American military. We do this by servicing the fallen, the fighting, and the families of the American military. I'm just going to be brief up here. Lisa didn't come because she's away in Washington, D.C., coordinating future activities for Wear Blue, Run to Remember. I'm going to be followed by Sarah Vargo, who's going to tell you a little bit about what the purpose of our Gold Star Youth Mentorship program is, and to tell you a little bit about the mechanics of how that works. I'm here because I'm on the leadership team for that program. We had a successful program last year. We're looking forward to greater success this year, and we're asking your help and looking for active duty mentors, but Sarah will tell you a little bit more about that.
Good morning. As Mike mentioned, my name is Sarah Vargo, and I am lucky enough to work with Survivor Outreach Services. You guys have an amazing team here with Tina and Roe, and we are in place to make sure that the Army promise to our Gold Star families to always include them as a part of our community is fulfilled. And that's exactly why this program is so important. We found over and over again that there are so many programs for our youth, for our Gold Star youth. But these programs, they want to simply give the kids things, which is lovely. Who doesn't like to get something in the mail like, present for me, yay. But as I'm sure we can also all agree, that things aren't the only thing that these kids need. They need people in their lives who invest in them and let them know that they're important. We want to make sure that we're building resilient children to grow up to be amazing adults. And that's, again, where mentorship comes into play. Unfortunately, as some of you will know, a lot of our Gold Star kids became a Gold Star child at a very young age. Most of them 2, 3, if that. So as they're growing up, it's kind of this identity crisis of like, okay, I'm a Gold Star kid and I'm a military kid, but yet I don't actually understand anything about the military. I know stories that might have been told to them about their parent. They might see pictures and, I mean, really, if Hollywood is what's telling them like what the Army life is like, we can do better. And again, this is where we need to step in. So that's the basis of why the mentorship program was started. And how exciting is it that the pilot program started right outside of JBLM, so we can be proud of that, because when it goes nationwide and other installations are seeing how important this is to, again, fulfill the Army's promise to our Gold Star families, we get to say it started here. So, mechanics of how this works. We have our Gold Star children between the ages of 6 and 16. They are invited to come participate. And it's a 9-week program. The commitment on both sides would be Saturday of every week of those 9 weeks, so 9 Saturdays, plus a Heroes Hike and a Memorial Day 5K. Because during the Saturdays, you're going to get together, you're going to get to know your Gold Star kid, and then you're going to be training for your Memorial Day 5K. And the kids take this very seriously. They have fast feet, they have new shoes, they're ready to go. So, be prepared for that. I couldn't keep up. So they will be leading off our Memorial Day run, and when they finish, they'll get a finisher's medal, and it's absolutely amazing to see the pride that the kids have in their accomplishment. Yeah, you'll see, it's a hallmark moment. It's really great. So, how can you be involved? You can be a mentor. Obviously, we are in need of that. But if that doesn't fit into your schedule, what about, sharing with others who might be able to step in and be a mentor? Or these kids, again, we're trying to connect them with real military experiences. So if you have somebody in your unit, brigade, whatnot, who is a mentor, support them. Maybe invite your Gold Star child to come and see the cool toys that you have, because they think they're great, which they are. So supporting that way. but also come to a run. Even if you can only make it for one Saturday, come experience and come show the Gold Star families that they're worth your time, that the investment of being there, supporting them through this journey. Come on Memorial Day. Give a high five to one of those kids who is going to be absolutely beaming when they get their finisher's medal, and going up to everyone and showing them what they did. So it's an amazing program, and I'm happy to answer any and all questions. I know that we're on a time limit here, and I've already talked too much. So you can talk to us afterwards. We have informational cards where you guys can look that up. But I know we're time limits here, but I would like you to hear from one of our amazing mentors from last year about his experience.
Thank you, and good morning. I'm Captain Matt Miller. I'm with 1-2. And this past year, I had the privilege of being a Gold Star mentor. I've been running with Wear Blue for about a year, partially because I love running, partially because I think it's important to remember the sacrifice of our fallen. And that's why I volunteered. I thought it was great to get to be a part of the sustained military connection to these Gold Star families. So my mentee, Joey, his father died when he was a baby, so he never got to meet his father. But he still honors that memory, and he still wants to be connected to the military community. And so for me personally, it was super rewarding to get to be that link to him in the military. And I had the ability to get to show him around post a little bit, show him the strikers, and it was great. And then I also got to run with him every week. I got to see him grow as a person, grow as an athlete as he got faster. And you know, if it's only a couple hours out of your week, it's not hard to carve out. And I think you'd find that in addition to helping someone else, you get a lot out of it yourself. So we've got these cards up here on the side afterwards if you're interested. If service members here, you're all welcome. And as well, please pass the word on to your units that we're looking for folks. And then even if you don't want to do that, just come out on Saturday and run with us, 9 o'clock at Powder Works Park in DuPont. It's a great group. It's a great experience. And look forward to talking to you over here afterwards. Thank you.
To wrap up, if you're interested in registering, and the one important point is what we need you to do leaving here is to spread the word. We have some cards, and they're basically what you see on the slides, but one is for announcing the kickoff on the 31st of March, 9 a.m., Powder Works Park. And the other is just an invitation to become a mentor. How do you become a mentor? You go to the Wear Blue Run to Remember website, which is easy to remember. It's on the cards. There it is right there, wearblueruntoremember.org. And the first page that will come up on that will be the Gold Star Youth Program. And from there, you can work through the menu to get to the registration. The registration is online and very easy to and self-explanatory to fill out. That's how you get involved. A couple of things I'd like to add to what's already been said. These kids are amazing. They come out there, some of them are 8 years old. They've never been running before in their lives. 9 weeks later, they're at the Memorial Day run in front of 2,000 strong, and they're out there running 3 miles in 22 minutes. I'm amazed. So that's what these kids do. The other thing I'd like to add is this mentorship doesn't always end with Memorial Day. These mentorships continue beyond. The bonding that takes place is amazing. Last year, we also had other activities beyond that. One of the things we did last year, and we'll probably do again, is we took the kids up. We had a coordination with the Museum of Flight, took the kids up. They had a VIP presentation of the Blue Angels when they were in town for Seafair. So anyway, we'll have the cards over here at the table. Be happy to pass them out, and we'll be happy to take any and all questions that you might have about the Gold Star Youth Program. Thank you very much.
Okay, do we have any questions regarding anything we've talked about today or any other issues regarding the Joint Base and Joint Base Garrison team? Okay, Command Sergeant Major Claiborne.
Good afternoon, Command Sergeant Major Claiborne, the Garrison Command Sergeant Major. I just have a couple things real quick. Want to make sure we clarify. So we have the retirement ceremony next Thursday on the 15th at 1400. The location was originally French Theater, but due to the renovations in the bathroom there in the parking lot, it's going to be moved over to Cary Theater. So again, next Thursday, 1400 Cary Theater. Then for all the Sergeant Majors in the room, tomorrow evening, 1630, we're going to have the Northwest Sergeant Major Association meeting. All E9s, regardless of membership, are invited to come out, participate. We need you out there. Again, we give back to the community. We're looking for volunteers to help to go out and represent the Sergeant Majors of the Northwest and help the community. And with that, Sergeant Major Tag, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Okay. For all the directorates, the agencies, and all the volunteers, I just want to say thank you for what you do for our service members every single day, because it matters. The second thing is 1 March. Put that on your calendar, 1 March. For the BAH. If the soldiers have not turned in their documents, they're not going to get the full amount of BAH that they deserve. And I know we talked about BAH here, and it's coming. We still have hundreds of soldiers have not turned in their documents yet, and I gave them a deadline of 15 February, and we still have hundreds of soldiers. I don't know if this affects the airmen as well, but 1 March, when the soldiers don't get paid, that's when they're going to start taking your time away from your schedule. So please, have all those documents turned in, and don't wait till the last minute. Because if you wait till the last minute, the big army is going to start putting all these in the documents, and it's going to be a clog in the system. And they can't work this, overnight. It's going to take some days and weeks to ensure that all these documents are into IPERMs, and that's when you're going to get paid. If not, they're not. The third thing, and I want to talk about force protection. These are the risk management that we have to take every day. At 0630, the Army just loves to do physical fitness. I don't know about the Air Force, but the Army does. Got you again, sir. At 6:30 in the morning, soldiers are either running, road marching, or doing things. But there's also equal amount of soldiers driving to somewhere at 6:30 or 6:35 or 6:45. I have no idea where they're going. So that puts a lot of soldiers that are running in the dark. PT belt doesn't really help. But it puts a lot of soldiers in danger when they're running in the morning, and I have a lot of soldiers on the road driving at the same time where they're doing physical fitness. So we got to look at our formations. We got to look at our parking lot, and where are all these soldiers going to do PT? If they got to go to the gym, let them run to the gym. They're not allowed to drive to the gym because it's only like half a mile or 200 yards to the gym. But I've seen people drive 200 yards from one parking lot to the other parking lot just to go to the gym. And, this is putting a lot of soldiers in, every day when I run on the road, the soldiers are running, they're crossing the walk, and, they think they have the right of way, but I have a soldier driving fast and texting at the same time, and it's dark, and somebody is not going to make it. So please, I ask you, after formations, where are your soldiers going? Because not everybody's going to sick call. All right, and that's very, very important, because there's too many close calls every morning where our soldiers are in danger to get hurt. Okay. Well, again, thanks for what you all do every single day.
Okay, Colonel Selson, you got any closing comments? Okay, General Valeski, on to you. All right, the next Garrison update is 7 March. On behalf of my boss, Colonel Lucas, thank you for being here, and we'll look forward to seeing you the next time.